folks, welcome back. This is MTG Burgeoning here, and this is our continuing kitchen table series where we take a look at a deck with which I've had some success at the kitchen table. And if you've been following the series since its inception, or if you haven't been, you can click on any of the links below and you can review some of the previous deck techs that we've had. And if you have been an ardent watcher of this series, then you know we started off with a mono white deck, and then we traversed the color pie by going blue, black, red, and then finishing off with mono green. And in our last installment, we did an Azorius Sphinx deck. So color pie indicates that the next deck we do has got to be blue-black. And here it is. Here is MTG Burgeoning's Dimir Megrim deck, or as I like to call it, my ping pong deck. I want to ping permanents from your battlefield and put them into your hand, and then have them pong into your graveyard, and then let Liliana's Caress and Megrim reduce your life total down to 0. It's not the only path we have to victory, but it's the most fun. So let's get started with the mana base. 8 swamps. Okay. And on top of the 8 swamps, we've got 6 islands. Next up is a play set of the underplayed, underutilized, and underloved Tainted cycle from the Torment set, Tainted Isle. Taps for a colorless or taps for a blue or a black, only if we control a swamp. 1 play set of Tainted Isle. And to round off the lands, we have a play set of the Dimir Checkland Drowned Catacomb. Taps for a blue and a black and enters the battlefield untapped as long as we control an island or a swamp. 1 play set, and those are our lands. To add to our lands, we have a few pieces of artifact ramp. The first of which is, it's the Soul Ring. You know what the Soul Ring does, folks. For 1, it gives us 2. Love it. Love everything about it. And then we also have 2 copies of Dimir Signet. All right, so a Soul Ring, 2 copies of Dimir Signet to go with our 22 lands. So let me introduce to you the creatures of this ping pong deck. And I can assure you this is an introduction that will not take a long time because there's only 4. It's 1 play set of Baleful Strix. For a Dimir, we get a 1/1 flying Death Toucher that when it enters the battlefield, we draw a card. We don't have a lot of creatures, so it's safe to think that we're going to have some creatures attack us from our opponents. This acts as a deterrent to that because it could block flyers, it can block walkers, and it has Death Touch. Plus, it replaces itself when it enters the battlefield. 4 copies, Baleful Strix. Now, let's meet our win conditions. First, we're going to talk about a play set of Liliana's Caress. For 1 and a black, whenever an opponent discards a card, that player loses 2 life. 4 copies, Liliana's Caress. This is an improved version of what we're about to see, Megrim. Megrim costs 1 more than Liliana's Caress and deals 2 damage to the player as opposed to having player lose 2 life. So Liliana's Caress is an upgrade in a lot of ways, but we'll still carry a couple copies of Megrim just so that we can keep calling it Megrim deck and have a couple additional ways in which to deal blows to our opponent's life totals. We also will have a couple copies of Waste Not. For 1 and a black, whenever an opponent discards a creature card, we create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Whenever an opponent discards a land card, we put 2 black mana to our mana pool. And whenever an opponent discards a non-land, non-creature card, we draw a card. 2 copies, Waste Not. So that's 8 copies of something that happens when our opponents discard a card. Let's find another path for them to discard cards, which is Warp Devotion. A playset of this enchantment is 2 and a black. Whenever a permanent is returned to a player's hand, that player discards a card from his or her hand. So we ping a creature, it goes to the hand. This pongs it into the graveyard, and hopefully we reap some benefits from a Waste Not activation, a Megrim activation, or a Liliana's Caress activation, or, if we're lucky, some combination of all of them. So let's take a look at our targeted bounce spells, and the first will be a playset of Snap. For 1 and a blue, return target creature to its owner's hand, untap up to 2 lands. So in some ways, a free bounce spell. 4 copies, Snap. Our next targeted bounce is going to be Tyrant Scorn. For a Dimir, it's a modal spell. We pick to either destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, or return target creature to its owner's hand. Now, with very few creatures in our deck, there are going to be times that we choose the first mode, but we prefer to save it for mode number 2. 4 copies, Tyrant Scorn. To branch out from just targeted creature removal, let's look at targeted permanent removal, bounce with Recoil. This instant from Invasion, return target permanent to its owner's hand, then that player discards a card from his or her hand. So any permanent, right to the owner's hand, and then that owner discards a card. If we can pair that with a Warp Devotion, that player will discard 2 cards. And then if we have any combination of our other Megrim, Liliana's Caress, or Waste Not spells, we are going to reap some resources and some depleted life. All right, so let's get a little more global with the returning of permanents from the battlefield to their owner's hands. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Cyclonic Rift. No, I would not mind having Cyclonic Rifts added to this deck, but, well, they're a little pricey. So we're going to go with Washout. As this is a much older deck, Cyclonic Rift hasn't found its way into it. So Washout for 3 and a blue, we return all permanents of the color of our choice to their owner's hands. Remember, tokens are permanents, so they will be returned to the hand and also trigger a discard from Warp Devotion. 3 copies of Washout. And lastly, this is our moneymaker, folks. This is the spell that ends the game if we have some combination of our discarding spells over here, and that's going to be Memory Jar. For 5, we tap this and sacrifice it, and each player sets aside his or her hand face down and draw 7 cards. At the end of turn, each player discards his or her hand and returns to his or her hand each card he or she set aside this way. So what this really means is each opponent puts their hands aside. They all draw 7 cards. Unlikely it will be that they can cast all of them. Very unlikely. There might be an instant or 2 here and there that can be cast, but this pretty much is going to be, for a lot of intents and purposes, each opponent draws 7 cards and then discards 7 cards. And if we have a Megrim, a Liliana's Caress, and or Waste Not, or any combination of those, we are going to end the game, get tons of resources, and then that's just going to be it. So folks, that is MTG Burgeoning's Dimir Megrim deck. Ping Pong, as he calls it. You've seen the deck list. Now let's see the deck in action. Let's do some play testing. All right, Burgeonites, you saw the deck list in this Dimir Megrim / Liliana's Caress deck. We're looking to discard cards. We're looking to bounce permanents and have them discarded through Warp Devotion. You saw the deck list. Now let's see the deck in action and see if it's all I say it's cracked up to be. Okay, let's do it. This is Kitchen Table Series. We're up to Dimir in colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, here we go. Tyrant Scorn. Great start. All right. Liliana's Caress is great. Oh, there we go. We've got the... Oh, baby, give us another land. Oh, perfect. All right. Oh, this is going to be nice. All right, we keep... Oh, let's get our die. You can keep track of the turns that we take. Okay, here we go. Turn number 1. We draw our card. Whoosh. Oh, ramp 2. This is going to be perfect. Island Pass. Turn 2, we draw Memory Jar. Oh, baby. Let's play a Drowned Catacomb. And I say let's tap 2 and put Liliana's Caress out there right away. Why not? Let's risk it for the biscuit, baby. Turn 3, we draw a card. Oh, Soul Ring. This is going to be amazing. All right, so we drop our Tainted Isle. Tap the Tainted Isle, play our Soul Ring. We're going to tap our Soul Ring to play a Dimir Signet. And then we're going to tap 2, tap our Dimir Signet for 3, and we're going to throw out... actually, let's see here. Should we... 2, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. You know what? I'll just put another Megrim out there. If we got the Memory Jar, we'll go for a turn 4 kill. Alright, so we untap, hoping that nobody has any removal. We move to turn 4. We draw. We play a Swamp. Perfect. Look at this. 2, 3, 4, 5. We can tap for 7. That's fabulous. So, you know what? We're just going to do it. Tap for 3. We'll tap for 4, 5. We'll drop down the Memory Jar. This is only turn 4. So you would tap, sacrifice the Memory Jar. Each player set aside their hand face down, then draw 7 cards. At the end of the turn, each player discards their hand and returns to their hand each card that was set aside this way. So as long as each opponent is discarding at least 5 of the cards from Memory Jar, they're taking 4 points of damage each, and we win the game. Let's try it again. Okay, so I think it's safe to say that playtest 1 was pretty successful. By turn 4, we kill the entire table. I mean, I know it's hard to tell exactly because this is playtesting, and if there was any interaction during the time to destroy our Megrim or our Liliana's Caress, then it wouldn't have taken down the entire table. But still, that was an awfully impressive opening hand and draw. Let's see if we can duplicate that to some degree of success. All right, here we go. Kitchen Table Series. This is deck tech number 7. All right, let's check that opening hand. Oh, Swamp, Recoil, Liliana's Caress, Memory Jar, 2. Oh, come on, give us a land. Give us a ramp. Okay, Tyrant Scorn. We're going to keep this. I'm okay. Let's keep this. Let's play this out. Let's see what happens. All right, here we go. Turn 1. What have we drawn? Oh, nice. Put our Swamp down. Turn 2. Draw a card. Oh, nice. A Snap. We'll tap 2, and we're going to play our Dimir Signet. Okay, ramp us up here a little bit. Untap. Let's move to turn 3. Let's draw that. Recoil. Okay, now we're starting to get a little flooded. All right, so let's on this. Let's get a Caress out of our hand. Let's untap, move to turn 4, and we draw. Oh, Tyrant Scorner. So we have lots and lots of bouncing. Oh boy. All right, this is exposing ourselves here a little bit. So turn 4, similar to turn 3, we'll play a second Caress. Okay. Turn 5. We draw a card. We play a land. So we can tap for 4. I think at this point in time, it's probably safe to assume we're going to need to protect ourselves as our turns pass around. So let's say we snap someone's creature. And then let's also say we most likely, well, let's be honest, we probably a couple of Tyrant Scorns too. So that brings us back to our turn 6. And hopefully we draw a piece of mana, and we do. All right, so there's our tapping 4 and our Signet for 5. Cast a Memory Jar. Tap, sack, draw the cards. Each discarded card is 4 points of damage. Hopefully that would be enough. That was a little longer. That was turn 6, not as impressive as our turn 4 win. But let's try it again. All right, so first 2 play testings, if we average the stats together, it was around turn 5 that we'd be able to hopefully have everybody discard to their doom. So let's see I'll play test 3 if it offers similar results. Shuffle up. Okay, Kitchen Table Series, deck tech number 7. Dimir Megrim. Ping pong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here we go. Okay, Island. Tainted Isle. Alright, tap, slow down with the lands here. Oh no. Oh no. Well, that's certainly going to be a mulligan. So we're going down to 6 here, folks. That was just not a good draw. Opening hand 6 lands. Yikes. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoop, Tyrant Scorn. 6, 7. Drowned Catacomb. Alright. Okay. Come on, give us one of our... Ooh, Waste Knot is nice. And a Megrim. Okay, this is much better. I actually... You know what? I think I'm going to want to shuffle back... Oh, this is going to be tough. Alright, let's shuffle back. Wow, that's tough. What do you pick here? Some protection, a Waste Knot. Alright, let's put back a Swamp. And let's hope that that wasn't a bad play. Alright, so we're starting a little behind here. 6 cards. Okay, here we go, baby. Turn 1. Alright, draw us a land. Right off the bat, give us a land. Oh, nice. Turn 1, Swamp. Now we're in business. Okay, here we go. Draw a card. Beautiful again. Drowned Catacomb. We're going to tap 2, and we're putting Waste Knot out there immediately. Okay, turn 3. We're drawing a Swamp. Okay, we'll drop down a Drowned Catacomb. Going to tap 3. Out comes the Megrim. Okay. Turn 4, we draw another land. I'm getting a little flooded here. I think it would probably be safe to say that some go around we would probably have to use a Tyrant Scorn to either get rid of a creature or bounce a creature. But we move to turn 5 and we draw. There's our Warped Devotion, which we'll hang on to because we're going to tap our 5. We're going to cast a Memory Jar. And as long as we can still keep these in play, it is likely that we will not be able to kill our opponents from the Megrim, having them discard at a maximum 7 cards from the Memory Jar. However, with the Waste Knot, if they discard a creature card, we're getting a zombie. If they discard a land, we're getting 2 black, which will allow us to cast our Warped Devotion. And if they discard a non-creature, non-land, we're going to draw a bunch of cards. So we're going to refill our hands. We're going to be in very, very good shape, folks. So this is turn 5. So there we have it. 3 play testings. Looks like around turn 5, we've got it on average. Folks, this is MTG Burgeoning. Thank you for watching this video. Be good to yourself and each other. Want to become a Pack Wars combatant? 4 easy steps. Step number 1. Click on the link below in the description or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/MTGBurgeoning. Step number 2. Select either membership or support. Membership will enroll you into Pack Wars for $5 each month. Support will cost $5 for 1 month. Step number 3, complete payment information. The name you use will appear on the site. Use your real name, Use your YouTube handle or use no name at all and be anonymous. Be sure to include your email address in the information. Step number 4, most importantly, prepare for war.